I think that it's one part of almost the definition of the problem with modernity and sustainability, that we are disconnected from the sources of things and from the actual labor that went into them. In fact, it's been a pretty major part of advertising to simply gloss over or distract us from the origin of things. The 20th century was really the century of the story of things, right? The idea that there's a narrative that comes with buying a specific product, and it makes you a different person and it takes you in a different direction. I think that a big part of the 21st century is going to be about the backstory of the things in our lives. And the backstory is really everything that happens before we got it. Where the materials came from, how it was manufactured, how it got to us, in what way it was sold to us, with what conditions and so forth. That is not, in general, a subject that most companies are very eager to engage with. But there are an increasing number of tools that allow people to do that. Some of them are very new and modern, ability to track goods and services around the world, often with or without the permission of the companies involved, and to really get a sense of what the life cycle of a given product might have been like, and where the materials came from and so forth. Some of them are very old school, involving just simply reporting, journalists going out and finding out what's going on, or NGO workers finding out what the conditions were in a factory. There's also, I think, more and more a sense of people wanting to know their own stories themselves. What do the combination of the backstories that they have brought into their lives, what kind of person does that make them? And I think when people start asking that question, they almost instantly start behaving differently in the world. I think we've seen it happen very strongly, or at least begin to happen very strongly within food, where the idea of knowing where your food comes from and of supporting, small farmers or farmers who are growing food in the right way, and supporting fair trade goods and such is mainstream now. It's really, it's not universal, but it is certainly something that is not hard to see evidence of. And I think that food is an emotional issue, so it's very easy to see why that would be one of the first ones that people would want to engage with. But I think food is just the tip of the iceberg. I think we're going to start to see all sorts of connections and all sorts of investigations into the world around us as part of just how we look at ourselves as consumers. And I think that in the future, products that are hippest and most successful at selling themselves will be hippest and most successful in part because they have great backstories, and they have backstories that people want to be a part of.